the voice of health, freedom, and liberty, Robert Scott Bell.
Hooray, hooray. Celebrate music. It's Monday. Hey. Why are we celebrating? Woo! Monday.
It's awesome news.
We survived the weekend, and we read Fox News this morning, and we're just giddy with delight. I know it's weird. I know. Stay with me here. But it's up. I've got it linked in the show notes. We put it up there. The Republican National Committee says Congressman Ron Paul and his supporters are welcome at the GOP convention. Woo-hoo!
We did it, Robert. We did it, finally.
Amazing. Wait a second. Wait a second. You mean Ron Paul has no speaking role?
Oh.
But hooray, they say he's welcome. Woohoo! But they say, I saw the headline. It's here. What?
They're welcoming us with open arms.
They did. They said open arms. America's Election HQ.
Front row seat. I can't believe it. We've done it.
Well, this is so... Wait. Unless you're from Louisiana? They're not letting the Louisiana delegates to be seated?
I guess
man.
not.
But open arms!
They're welcoming us with open arms, Robert.
Come on, open arms. We got to be happy. It's Monday, and Fox News says the RNC chair welcomes. What's this guy, Reince Priebus? He says, come on in.
Yes, I can't believe it.
That? Except if you're from Maine or Massachusetts? You mean they're not going to seat the Ron Paul delegates from Maine or Massachusetts?
I guess not.
Wait a second.
Open arms, Robert.
Oh. Yeah, open arms, my aspirin. What kind of with open arms like these, you'll never get a hug. This is incredible.
Man.
Don't you love Fox News, the way they put up a headline like this to make you believe one thing and it's actually the opposite is true? I mean, we're not exaggerating here.
Silliness, absolute silliness. I mean, it just the very first paragraph of this article, sentence 1 sounds great. Sentence 2 contradicts sentence 1.
They didn't wait around. Yeah, the head of the Republican National Committee says Congressman Ron Paul and his supporters are welcomed with open arms. I quoted at the Republican National Convention. Next sentence, watch this contradiction. Even so, the man who is technically still a candidate for president has no speaking role and is planning a separate event before the convention. Why? Because he's got no speaking role. And why? Because his delegates, they're fighting tooth and nail to not allow them to be seated at the Republican National Convention.
Right.
I wrote a little blurb. Actually, it was just a sentence. Bye-bye Republican pie. When this became obvious that they were fighting against the lawful, legal elections that were held, caucuses, et cetera, in the states that gave Ron Paul a lot more delegates than they're giving him credit for in the mainstream media. And now they're trying to play up a game with Fox News to kind of bring over the liberty-loving Republicans. And those are the Ron Paul people, by the way. The rest of them are statists, war-making mongers, tax eaters, tax cheaters, etc., who basically love the slave system as it is and only want to see it grow just as the Democrats do in their own way.
Neocon Central, for sure.
Neocon Central. But Priebus points out, this RNC chairman, that Congressman's son, Kentucky GOP Senator Rand Paul, he's got a very prominent speaking place at the convention. Well, Rand Paul's not running for president.
Gee, thank you very much. Yes. So they throw a bone to Ron Paul's son, but don't give Ron Paul a speaking slot. Yeah.
So Ron has a Rally for Liberty delegates on Sunday, August 22nd at the University of South Florida Sun Dome. And if you're going to that, I want to hear from you. You look at this, the AP puts Ron Paul delegate number at 160. It's more than that by far. And he's won enough states to get nominated from the floor. You heard from Jesse Benton, his campaign coordinator, saying we're not going for a nomination from the floor, but it's not up to him. It's up to the delegates to do it. So anything can still happen, but that's why they're fighting so desperately to keep out the delegation from Maine, Louisiana, and Massachusetts. And why did I say bye-bye Republican pie? Because the lifeblood of a future Republican Party depends upon young people. There are no young people coming in if it's not for Ron Paul. There's no what point do you have to participate in the Republican Party if not for Ron Paul? There is none. None.
You mean Romney and Paul Ryan aren't appealing to the young demographic in this country?
Well, listen, I know the paparazzi were just begging to get a picture of Paul Ryan without a shirt on because he's got 3% body fat.
Nope, they found it.
They found it?
they found it. TMZ did come up with a picture. It's a few years old, but they did find a picture of him vacationing with his family or something, not wearing a shirt.
Right. So. Well, how good does that work when he's still, he said yesterday, if you listen to my Sunday show on GCN, unbelievable. Paul Ryan has more foreign policy experience than Barack Obama. Why? Because he's been in Congress and he's been voting for not declarations, but he's been voting to send your boys and girls off to wars that are undeclared. I'm telling you, he said that. Go listen to my Sunday show. Download it through GCN or iTunes. You will be shocked. He actually said that.
Yeah, it's absolutely
political
insane
theater.
When you think that voting a yay or nay to send kids to war gives you foreign policy experience, it's just a vote. That's all he did was vote. Sending our kids to war. I have better foreign policy experience than Barack Obama. I'm better than him.
It's such a joke, and of course the sad neocons are going to go, "Oh yeah, Paul Ryan's the greatest ever." So glad that
of course
Romney.
They think the war was a good thing, and not only did he send them to war, but it was an unconstitutional war,
undeclared. Exactly.
So really, you think that somehow gives you points? No, you suck.
Yeah, exactly. Well said, Super Don.